for that. In 6th place, Alyssa Snyder from Montana State, Bobcats. And in 5th place, Aaron Dietz, Merchant Elite.
Good. Stay calm, right where you need to be.
All right, 72 again, again, 6 laps.
Right there, right on that back! Right there! Stay engaged in that group.
I'm at another 73, so Pollard will take that pace up a little bit and close that gap.
That's a 71, just stay patient, it's going to come back to you. Cody, you're running in. Look it up and keep working your way up. Stay engaged. Stay forward. Let's go.
Pollard, Burke, and UCLA. 14:52 there, so 76.
Cody, stay aggressive. Done, Seth. Stay aggressive. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. There you go. Stay aggressive. Keep making moves. Get around. There you go, Seth. Keep it up.
And we pick it up a little bit again, 75. And 79, 76, 75.
Let's go. Boy, Seth.
And we're staying on those 75s.
It's been slow, so get uncomfortable. This is where you guys stand comfortable. Cody,
Schultz, Little, Lading, and Burke.
Come on, Seth, stay with that back.
All right, on our road standings, now we have the men's long jump finals.
Because he's happy to have that support. Well, you've got some more work to do. You are going to be favored in the triple jump too. With a best of 53.7, there isn't anybody close. That's coming up tomorrow, right?
It's a long, hard, hot day.
Stay engaged. They're making room. Gotta make room. Cody, let's go. Boy, Seth. Good, buddy.
Good award presentation. We had a 79 and followed up with a 75.
Let's go, Cody. Let's go, Cal. Hey, you're on great pace. Keep making moves. Stand comfortable. Hold your power. Let's go. Go. Cody, right there. Cody, go right there. Stay in it. Be competitive. Come on, Cody. Boy, Seth.
Yeah, there's not many seasons here.
No.
Who's been the Vader?
And picked up 74
Hey, be
there.
close enough to cover. It's gonna Cody, it's a matter of how bad you want it here. Let's go. Look up and stay engaged. You know the deal. Look up. Cut that distance in half. Let's go, Cody. You gotta go.
He's now starting to move up. He has moved up to 3rd. Zachary Dale moving up around Burke and Lading, and that's our 7th. And we're running 75.
74. Hey, time to test him. Let's go.
Here we go, buddy. Start racing, Levi.
6 laps to
Back,
go
Cody.
now.
Cody, stay engaged right here. You don't have too much to go. Come on, look up. Come on now.
Burke.
Let's go, Cody.
Get it down a tick. Get it down a tick. 1 or 2 seconds.
Dale and Lading, that's our 7th. Anyone with a shot at getting that top 2?
Good, Seth. Get this.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. 5 laps to go. Dale moving up there from Illinois, trying to make sure he's in that group. And we've got our 74 on that lap.
There you go. Feel strong. Mile ahead. Easy.
Kevin Montague now moving up on Tyler's shoulder. Pollard still third. Liddell, Dale, Burke, and Lady. I'll make a little noise. We got only a mile to go now. 1,600 meters. One of these 7 men going to be our junior national champion. They have separated themselves. They've been consistent. And 75 once more now. 1,600 meters to go. Thomas, Montague, Pollard, Liddell, Burke, Dale, and Lady.
Top 10 all time, top 10 all time.
All 7 of these men comfortable at this pace. So we should have a great last 1,200 meters. Montague now takes us through. We did pick that up a little bit, 74. Pollard now moving up. Pollard up on Tommy's shoulder. Thomas now back in the lead. Liddell coming in leading. Here comes Burke from UCLA. Moving back up. Lady holding on to that group. But Pollard now starting to open up. Here we go. 1,000 meters out. Pollard, Thomas, Liddell, Burke, Montague, Dale, and Lady. Should be a great last 2.5 laps. Thomas Pollard picking it up. And you can see it now really starting to pick up. Here we go. Burke from UCLA moves into third. Pollard trying to break away with 800 meters to go. And that was our fastest lap so far. 22.70 seconds. Pollard, Thomas, Burke, Dale, Liddell, Montague, and Lady. Pollard, Burke of UCLA moving into second. Zach Dale, Illinois is coming up on Thomas. Coming into third. Pollard, Burke, Thomas, and Dale. And we got 600 meters to go. Just gets faster and faster. Pollard trying to pull away. Burke trying to close. Thomas trying to stay. And Dale trying to push up into it. 4 men there with a chance to make it to our junior national team and one to be our junior national champion. 500 meters to go. Burke trying to come up on Pollard. Thomas staying in it and Dale right there. Here comes Colin Burke of UCLA. Colin Burke goes into the lead with 400 meters to go. 66 on that lap. Colin Burke, Pollard, and Thomas still in this thing.
Come on, don't give up on it. Stay to the side. Come on, you got it.
300 meters to go. Thomas coming back. Burke trying to pull away Pollard. Here comes Thomas. Dale trying to stay close. Colin Burke of UCLA. Pollard coming back. Here comes Thomas. 200 meters going. Dale coming back. Dale in fourth starting to make a move. Pollard coming back. Coming off the turn. Here comes Levi Thomas. Colin Burke trying to hold him off. Colin Burke, here comes Pollard. Dale making a big push all the way from fourth. But it's Colin Burke, Pollard, and Burke, and it will be Pollard, Burke, Thomas, and Dale.
You got this! Stay with those guys! That's it!
Thomas, Pollard, and Colin Burke. All 4 boys right at 30-46. Oh my. Pollard 30-46, 44. Burke 30-46, 25. Dale 30-46, 72. Thomas 30-46, 73. After 10,000 meters, separated less than 7/10 of a second. Montague, 31:05.59. Lading, 31:05.81. Liddell, 31:06.19.
Good race, guys. Get some water, then you have to go to the infield. Christian.
Schultz will finish in 8th at 31:29. McElwain moved up well to 31:30 to get 9th.
Last lap. Here we go, John.
Good job, boys.
Good job, man.
Vendrana from Indiana State will be a top 10 finisher with a 31:34.24. Pollard 31:55.03. Salter from Mount San Antonio College, California State champions this year in community college, ran 31:55.85. Ben Wells 31:56.49. Yodo from 31:58. Beaver gets a top 15 finish.
Everybody's finishing now. Everybody's finishing.
Great finish to a great race. Great start to three great days of track and field here. Our Junior National Championships tomorrow and Sunday. We hope that you'll join us for both days.
Hey, I'm just honored to be running with the Man U for Locker finalists.
Stay around for our awards presentation at 10,000. They gave us a great race. We can stay and enjoy that. We'll start with our 3:15 tomorrow, be our 110 highs as the decathlon begins its second day. Right after that will be the women starting with their decathlon at 3:30. Our women's long jump will start at 3:45. Men's shot put them on 4 o'clock. It should be a great competition. Three high school boys national track and field championships.
Go to Lipscomb in Nashville.
Mr. Pollard, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, she lived 15 minutes away from me. High school.
Really? Yeah, you're in right? So, two of my best friends. Yeah, so like, Tyler got
Oh, yeah. I got 7.
I know.
Same race.
I know, that's why.
Yeah.
In 5th place, Kevin Magoo. In 4th place, Levi Tomet. And in 3rd place, with a time of 30:46.72, Zachary Dale. And in 2nd place, going to Poland with a time of 3:46.25, Colin Burke. And in 2nd place with 3:46.25, Colin Burke from UCLA. And in 1st place, Iowa State, 3:46.04, Thomas Pollard.
Thanks, gentlemen. Great job.
Guys, can we do the shot tallest to shortest next?
Coming in, there was 8 men who would run under 31 minutes. You took the lead with about 3 laps to go, and that kind of shook things up just a little bit. Take us from that point on in.
Yeah, well, it was a great group of guys, so I had no idea what to expect coming in, but I knew it would be a close race. With 3 laps to go, I figured I had to go, otherwise there's no way I was going to win. Not usually a kicker, but it worked out.
It certainly did. There were just 0.7 of a second separating you and fourth place. I don't know whether you knew that was going on behind you, but I suspect you might have.
No, I knew it was a close one, so I knew there was no letting up at the end.
Nice work, Cyclone.
Thank you.
3 laps were really crazy, and it was very hard to, if you're standing watching, figuring out what was going to happen there. You went with just over about 3 laps to go.
Yep.
And what was your plan? What was your thoughts, anyways?
I thought it was just to kind of gradually bring the pace down. I knew I couldn't let it come down to like the last 100 or so. So I wanted to run my race and kind of dictate the race. So I decided to take control of it there.
Okay. Did you the first part of the race? Did you have a plan, or it's so hard because you don't? This is at this level, you just don't even know who's going to be in there.
Right. You just have to read the race. So I didn't want to come in with a plan. I just wanted to get into the race, get into the flow, and then go from there. So when Levi took it out, I knew I had to keep my eyes on him, and eventually had to close that gap because I knew he'd just run away with it if we let him go.
Do you know any Polish?
Not at all.
Just turn it up so I went from fourth place to winner.
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I knew Colin was ahead of me. I knew there were guys coming from behind me, so just had to give it everything. And I don't know, I guess I got last one.
And in first place, Iowa State, 346.04, Thomas Pollard.
Okay, so I went with the spoiler right away. It was a great day for Iowa State Track and Field Friday at the 2016 U.S. Junior Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Clovis, California. The meet is a showcase for our nation's top talent under the age of 20. The future of U.S. track and field, the future of Iowa State track and field was on display Friday. We'll start with Thomas Pollard in the 10,000-meter run. At stake, the national junior title and the top 2 finishers in each event earn a trip to next month's IAAF World Junior Track and Field Championships in Bydgoszcz, Poland. The race was hard to forecast as 8 runners had run under 31 minutes. I can't show you the actual race footage, but the 10K finish was a thriller. Pollard ran up among the leaders the entire race. He made a move with just under 3 laps to go and went into the lead, but Colin Burke of UCLA surged past him. In the end, Pollard won a trophy dash of over 100 meters to finish the race against 3 other competitors who were all separated by less than 0.7 of a second. Pollard, the winner, in 30 minutes, 46.25 seconds. He's now the defending U.S. Junior Cross Country Champion and the U.S. Junior 10K Champion, and will compete for the U.S. in Poland in that event in July. Pollard said he made his move because he wanted to control his own 10K destiny.
I thought it was just to kind of gradually bring the pace down. I knew I couldn't let it come down to like the last 100 or so. So I wanted to run my race and kind of dictate the race. So I decided to take control of it there. I didn't want to come in with a plan. I just wanted to get into the race, get into the flow, and then go from there. So
Iowa State Director of Track and Field Martin Smith talked about the race.
We could tell with about 3 to 4 laps to go
it was going to be very exciting over the last 1,600 meters because there were about 7 guys still there together, as you know. And at that point, 4 or 5 of them all looked very good, including Thomas, of course. And it was going to be interesting to see who was going to make the first aggressive move to try to string it out. And I was surprised it went as long as it did. And with a little over 1,000 meters to go, Thomas began to press the pace. Coach Sudbury mentioned me. I think he said he went 68, 66, and then closed in 60 with obviously an incredible last 50 to 100 meters. As you've looked at the results, I think there were 4 young men within less than a second, maybe 7/10 of a second, all battling for those top 2 spots to make the World Junior team. So you really couldn't tell. You just knew it was going to be pretty crazy over the last 150. Well, you know, he has a really high running IQ. We like to say in the business, he has a good natural sense, and you know, he comes from a running family, and he has maturity on the track that's I would say not uncommon, but very special. And you could see tonight, as the race unfolded, he made all the right moves. He kept his cool. He stayed on the rail, and it was kind of like poker. He was going to wait to see when it was the right time to play his hand, and he executed a really nice last K with which allowed him to win the race and make the team. But he has he's tremendously coachable, and the system seems to be working well for him now, and you could see that in the race by the way he shows great poise and patience.
Smith also had praise for Iowa State's Jasmine Stabler. The sophomore-to-be advanced to Saturday's 800-meter final with a 2:07.88 preliminary clocking.
I think the neatest thing about the day was 2 things. Getting Jasmine in the finals of the 800, that's really special and for her, but really neat for our program and for Coach Andrea McDonough. I think that's really neat for her to get someone in the finals of the 800. And then all the kids on the team were out here in the 10,000 cheering Thomas on. So good esprit de corps, makes for a great trip. As you and I had talked earlier in the day, this is a phenomenal facility, and they're running it like a great preparation for the World Championship. So it's a neat experience for young athletes with a bright future, and I think as the head coach, that's maybe the most exciting thing for me, as well as obviously, of course, Thomas's individual performance is very special. Winning. He's making his 2nd USA team in his freshman year, pretty special stuff. And now going on to the World Juniors, which is one of the biggest international track meets in the country, or in the world, excuse me.
Stabler knows Saturday's field will be top flight.
This will probably be like the most competitive 800 that I'll have raced so far, just because everybody's so talented here, but I'm really excited to get to this next level of competition.
More Cyclones in action Saturday, including Kelly Nauman and Grace Gibbons in the 3,000-meter steeplechase, Emma Wiggum in the heptathlon, and John Nouns in the 5,000 meters. For Cyclones.tv, I'm Tom Crochelle.